So when I was growing up, I was raised in a Christian home. My grandfather is a pastor, and so we always kind of went to his church. But for me, it wasn't really a super real experience. I mean, I was saved at 5 years old, which, yeah, it seems pretty young, but hey, it was the right timing. And I remember my kindergarten teacher looking at us and being like, who wants to really know Jesus and have him be your best friend? And even though I was so young, it was like, yeah, I want that. Like, I want him to be my best friend. Like, best friends are the best. And from there, it was kind of an upward climb, I guess you could say. Like, I got to know Jesus more, loved going to VBS and stuff growing up. And then fall of 4th grade, my grandma passed away from cancer, and it was kind of a steady decline for a little while from there, where I just felt alone and kind of abandoned. And I didn't turn to anything really bad, but the things that I would turn to is uplifting music, like Switchfoot, something filled with hope, something that made me want to keep going. And after I lost my grandma, a lot of other people started to die. Like, I lost a lot of family members. And so I was in kind of this funk for a couple of years where I wasn't happy. Like, it wasn't true happiness, the happiness that I used to have, you know, like happiness as a kid. And so summer of 6th grade, I went to youth camp, and first time ever going to a camp, I remember one day in worship, you know, just praying, and then found myself on the floor and I was weeping, and I didn't understand why at the time. And God was just like, hey, I've got plans for you. And that was one of the first times that I thought I was important, that there was a hope for my future, and that I could make a difference in the world. And so it was just kind of an awakening, like a, hey, you still matter, you're still important to me, like, I love you. And so even climbing out of that was hard. I still had a small group of great friends that were always right there beside me, like, hey, I love you, hey, you're doing so well, I'm so proud of you. And those were the things that made me who I am right now. And while it was hard to get over that, it was so worth it, because even then when I look back on those things, I realized that depression wasn't for nothing. Like, it shaped me to who I am today, and I'm not afraid to do things that I wouldn't normally do, like, you know, go out and do makeovers for homeless people, or fly to another country and, you know, pray for people that I've never met or never talked to before, going door to door to people and being like, hey, let me talk to you, let me hear your story. And from there out, God's like, hey, you've got passions, you've got things that you love to do. You're a world changer, like everyone. He's like, I've got a plan for you and for everyone else. Like, you are all world changers, and you could be the generation to finally make a difference. To be able to say, hey, I'm going to pursue these things that I love doing and that God has given me to make me happy, to make me be able to take care of other people and love doing what I do. And from there on out, it was just kind of a, you know, like, you don't have to be old to make a difference. You don't have to be someone who's on a huge platform. The weak lead the strong. And so it's not even like you can't do anything. It's kind of, you have to have the mindset of get up and move. Like, you can't do anything if you're not willing to take a step. And I think from there on out, it was really where my life begun to change, was I am a world changer and I can make a difference.